Sara Nelson, who is president of the Association of Flight Attendants and has been a flight attendant for 24 years. Sara, what does this travel ban, I'm not even sure what to call it now because I'm not sure how many exceptions there are to it. I'm not sure how it actually works. But the president's announcement last night, what does this mean to the airline industry generally and more broadly?
Last night, this created total chaos, Lawrence. We had flights that were waiting to take off for Europe, and I got reports that passengers were getting updates from the president's speech saying that all travel was going to be ended for 30 days. The passengers started a mutiny. The crew started freaking out, not knowing they were on a scheduled 3-day trip, thinking they wouldn't be able to get back home to their families. So it was pandemonium in the airports. Because there was no coordination with the airlines on the front end. And then later we get different information that the airplanes can still fly, but there will be all kinds of restrictions. Those restrictions also have an impact on the travel. The inconsistency in the way that the information is delivered leads to more panic on the ground and a reactionary from travelers and people who are making business plans and canceling those plans. And so this is having a ripple effect where we are not able to actually test, treat, and isolate the virus, stop the spread, and really get at that as Americans. This is having a ripple effect on our jobs, on our experience at work, and our entire industry, and ultimately for the entire economy.
Let's listen to what the CEO of JetBlue had to say about this.
In the U.S. industry, we saw about a 30% drop-off in traffic around 9/11. This is probably even worse than that.
Worse than 9/11?
What we're seeing in terms of demand.
Sara, how can that be possible, that this could be worse than 9/11?
Well, because there is not clear leadership. We know what it's like when there is a loud bang on the plane or a noise that's unexpected or a jerking of the plane. Passengers look to us. And we know that we have to provide calm, steady leadership and show them that it's okay, explain what is going on, explain the sounds, and explain what we're going to do about it. And when you do that, people calm down and they follow your lead. And you can actually put forward a plan that works to keep people safe. That is not what has happened here. There has been no leadership. There has been no coordination. There has been no marshaling of resources, listening to the experts and bringing the stakeholders to the table to coordinate and, again, identify where this exists, where the virus exists, treat it, isolate it, and eradicate it as a threat to lives and to our economy. And so this is what we need to have happen.
Sara, when you joined us last week, I asked you what you would tell the flying public, people who have to fly. And I think we're down to the point now where it's really essential flying. People are stopping the optional flying, the vacation flying. What has changed in the week since we talked about this for the flying public to consider?
The problem here, Lawrence, is that now we are talking about a state of emergency in many states, and we have the virus in the communities. And so it's not just necessarily what we're doing on the planes. And I should note this, preparation matters. Having a plan matters. We are trained as flight attendants every single year in how to respond to communicable disease, in how to take actions to keep ourselves safe, how to respond when we encounter symptoms with other passengers, and how to keep passengers around them safe. And I should note that just today, for the first time, we had a crew member test positive when crews, U.S. crews, have been dealing with this for 2 months. And just today, because we were able to take strict action with our airlines to have preparation, to have the resources that we need to respond, we were able to keep our workspace relatively safe and that of the passengers in our care. But now, in just a week's time, because we have not tested, because we have not been able to isolate, because we have not been able to treat where the virus exists, now we have the virus in the communities. And so it's not just a matter of getting on an airplane and whether or not you're going to be safe on an airplane. People are taking into consideration whether they should even be congregating together in our communities in numbers greater than 100 or 500, whatever it may be in those states. So that's where we are in just a week's time, because this has not been handled in the way that it should have been.
Sara Nelson, your experience and insights have been invaluable to us on this. We're going to want to be hearing from you again. Thank you very much for joining us again tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Lawrence. And travelers who are traveling, check Flying with Sara for tips to keep yourself safe while you're in the air.
Yes, that's your Twitter handle. I follow it. I learn a lot from it. Just say it one more time because people really do want to get the latest information from you.
Follow Flying with Sara, no H on Sara. Thanks, Lawrence.
Okay, thank you. When we come back, Katie Porter's brilliant questioning in a House committee hearing today reached a new high even for her because she did something we've never seen before. She forced a reluctant Trump appointee to change Trump policy on the spot under pressure from her questioning and decide to do the right thing for once. And Katie